I was told we got close to 18,000. It's a huge kickoff, so to speak, to college basketball, which is what we wanted, a spotlight on our game, and to be able to do it in the state. I think it's great for the state of Wisconsin and basketball within the state. So from the Brewers to American Family Insurance to obviously Stanford and Intersport, everybody that had our athletic department and the fans, obviously a huge shout out and a thank you to everybody to make this happen. Obviously, a lot of things we can learn from this game. I felt to get a challenge like this early in the season with a younger team was going to be good for us. And there's so many things we'll be able to learn from on the film as we go through it over the weekend. But really proud of these guys. You know, it wasn't always pretty, but this group has a toughness to them that continues to develop as we go through the early part of the season. And defensively is where we hang our hat. And this group, we needed to tonight. You know, so like I said, proud of our guys and the effort, how they're growing together. With that, I'll open it up for questions. Jeff.
Yeah, Greg, I think you know what you're going to get almost like from Tyler and Steven and Jeff. Can you describe what you got with Jordan and also the season tonight with Max and Phil? What you're about?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about it's going to take everybody, you know, and I don't say that just to keep everybody happy in the locker room. It really is. I think this team its strength is in its numbers, and Jordan obviously came up with some big plays tonight. His ability to get to the glass. You know, I think he continues to get better defensively, and he had some pretty tough checks tonight with Ingram and with Michael Jones. So, and Connor obviously came off, and you got a guy like that has the offensive ability that he does, and he takes he takes a lot of pride in his defense, and he knows that needs to continue to improve, and he cares about that. So that's great as a coach because I know he can shoot it, and I know he can score those things, and like I said, to be able to come in there and spell Max when he got in foul trouble. I thought Chris Hodges, for the little bit he played, thought he did some good things. So, you know, just it's a group effort, and said we need everybody's contributions.
Jordan, there was that play in the first half where you turned the ball over, then you stole it, then you grabbed the offensive rebound and you scored. Is that the kind of intensity and that kind of play that we can expect from you like this season? And what was going through your head during that too?
Well, yeah, I don't want to turn the ball over because Coach prides himself on handling the ball and taking care of the ball. But yeah, just I was an energy play for us. It was an and one, so I think that turned like the tide and it was our way.
Tyler, the shooting numbers are probably skewed by the venue to some degree, but do you think you're going to have to win games like this, 60, maybe in the 50s sometimes?
I mean, yeah, sometimes the ball's not going to go in. That's when we got to rely on our defense, and that's something that Coach really talked about, and something that we really buy into is here at Wisconsin. We really buy into the defense, and this group of guys, I feel like we're a good team defense. So we're always relying on each other to pick each other up. You get beat by a guy, there's always a guy there. So just having the trust in each other, we're going to have to grit some games out for sure this year.
And that is for the three of you. I know you mentioned, Coach, the atmosphere. Both women's coaches mentioned this. Stanford mentioned it, that it felt kind of like a tournament atmosphere. I mean, did it feel like that? And if so, how beneficial is that?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, being in bigger venues, I've been fortunate in my career to be part of a team that's played in regional finals or in a Final Four, and this had that type of feel. I mean, just that I thought from the size and scope of the building that it had the potential of it, and then when you have, like I said, the fans show up like they did tonight, everybody, I mean, they probably won't tell me if it's not a good experience, but everybody, I mean, I had fans grabbing me that I have no idea who they are as I was walking down to the dugout and stuff, just so excited to be able to be a part of this event. So it turned out better than we probably ever expected or imagined.
Jordan, can you follow up with that? Did it seem like a tournament atmosphere?
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I played in a baseball stadium, so that was pretty cool. But it was great. Looking up in the stands and you see 3-4 levels filled with red. That's something that you come to Wisconsin for. You come to play in these events. So it was really cool experience that we got to come in here and play. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, like Coach said earlier, thank you to everyone who was involved in making this happen. I know it was 5th year in the making, so just want to say thank you. But yeah, it felt like a tournament game, and it was really fun to be out there.
Yeah, very good. I know the offense was overall efficient, but first half, I think, was 12 points, up to 15 turnovers. Do you think that sets you guys up to at least be in relative control in the second half, where you took advantage of those mistakes?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we made some mistakes in the second half that kind of opened the door back for them, and that's credit to Stanford for taking advantage of that. We got a little out of character, so to speak, on both ends of the floor. So, that's what I mentioned about the learning that we're going to have from this tape, because to get this type of, like I said, be in this atmosphere, they're out of their comfort zone because we're not playing at home, we're not playing in a normal arena, and then to be tested with a good team. November 11th, there's nothing but positives that can come from it, because this will help us so much going forward if we take advantage of it. And part of that is the learning, as you mentioned, we took advantage of some of their mistakes in the first half. We turned around and kind of handed some to them in the second half, and they took advantage. So those are the things that we've got to understand and continue to grow from.
Jordan Tower, I think the two teams shot like 16% from three. I know the women's teams struggled in the game as well. You had 90 minutes yesterday, I believe, but how difficult was it? How different was it shooting in a venue like this?
I feel like we don't really think about it. You get an open shot, you gotta let it fly. That's about it. Ball wasn't going in tonight. It could have been the venue, it might not have been. But when you get open shot, you gotta let that thing fly, and I got confidence in all my teammates to let it fly coming up in this next game for sure.
Yeah, like pretty much what Tyler said. It just could be not your night tonight, but we keep letting it fly.
Just gotta use the glass on three.
Steal more second. We got to steal more bases. Send more runners around third instead of holding them up.
Stanford got down to about 5 with 8+ minutes left. I don't think they made a basket for another 6.5 minutes or so. What was said there in that under 8 timeout? What did y'all kind of tell each other to kind of get the defense going?
We just had to stick to ourselves. We had uncharacteristic both offense and defensive end. So that timeout was mostly settling down, get back into our groove, and do things that we know how to do and do them well. So that was pretty much the extent of that timeout.
Tyler, Jordan had a career high 13 points. We know he's stepping into a bigger role, but what did you see from him today?
He came out confident, ready to go. Jordan's a great player. We see it in practice all the time. We've seen spurts of it in the games, and I'm just really happy for him that he was able to put a great complete game together today.
Greg, Steven Crawl had kind of taken himself out of games last year with his foul trouble, especially in the first half. I know he had finished with 4, but 7.6 rebounds in the first half with no turnovers and no fouls. Is that what you kind of are going to need from him this year, that kind of consistency with your front court?
Yeah, and I got to know, too, that he didn't foul out on the fourth one, because I thought he fouled out. I thought he had 4. Prior to that, that's why I threw Gilmore in there at the end. But it's good for Steve to, he's got to continue to play through some of the fatigue, and that started to show a little bit in the second half. Play through that. Still trust the fundamental things we talk about, staying down, keep your feet on the floor, maintaining contact, all the things that we talk about all the time. So my foul check guys got to do a better job of reminding me that it wasn't the 5th. I thought even the official even said 5 when he reported it, or when he turned back around. So, but it's good. It's good for Steve to have that experience, and it was good for Carter to get in there, because it does make us a little more mobile defensively, especially in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, and when we have to exchange to cover up a lot of threes.
Jim. If I remember correctly, it was pretty early last season. You knew this team was gritty and tough. That was the word you were using. Do you feel the same way? I know it's early about this team so far.
Yeah, I think they understand that what we need to be good at and what is non-negotiable. And offense comes and goes. You sat there earlier this week, Jim, and we banged in 12 threes, and I said we can't always depend on that, but we can depend on our ability to guard, rebound, take care of the ball. Those things are non-negotiables that we want every night. And then offensively, play free and play relaxed, and try to get the best that you can get for your on that possession. But this group knows that our strength is in our toughness and our grittiness, and that's embedded in the fiber of this program. So for us to stray from that would be foolish on our part.
Got time for probably 2 more. Yep.
Greg, you had said if things had gone as expected, or as you would hope tonight with this event, that you would hope this would possibly become something you do every couple of years. Still feel that way? Would you push for this?
Yeah, I mean, I think what do you guys think as media, that you guys covered a lot of events? It was pretty cool, wasn't it? I mean, I'm a little biased, I know, but I thought it was really awesome in terms of when we came out on the floor and there at the end. I usually don't hear things during timeouts, but the jump around they got going in the 8-minute media. No, I'm sure that we'll discuss it in depth. But yeah, I think it went off as well as we could ever expect, if not better.
Well,
Greg, coming into the year, you mentioned that you were excited about just learning about the team through the season. Through 2 games, what are some things you've kind of learned about the group so far?
Well, to kind of spin back to Jim's question about the grittiness of this team, I think the toughness, and they understand how important the defensive end is. I think the other thing is just how we're going to have contributions from across the board. And you know, the next game it might be 2 different guys sitting up here with me. So they understand the importance of us being a team and how we have to work together collectively and pick each other up when something doesn't go well. And again, continue to understand from a defensive standpoint, that's who we are, and we'll continue to work and grow in other areas.
thanks, guys.
Good. All right. Thank you.